Radiant's pick.
Hello and welcome, my name is dragondrop and this is the joinDOTA League. Currently we are in the Europe Division 2.3 to be exact. Fureur Multigaming, the French people, versus uebelst Gaming, representing Germany if I'm not mistaken. So, I'm a little bit out of breath, just had to run an errand real quick, but so bear with me for the next couple of minutes. As we see the ancient apparition picked up for Fureur. Gonna have some problems saying that name sometimes, so I took 4 years of French in school and never going back. So anyway, ancient apparition picked up very solid support. Can give you a lot on level 1 and later on in the game with the Frostblast Vengeful Spirit. Pretty much the same, a decent stun level 1, doesn't scale too well though, but with the minus armor coming out, it's another nice skill that she can bring to bear, and of course the damage aura makes her scale into the late game and just helps out the carries more.
10 seconds to go.
And hang on for a second.
5 seconds.
Turn that a little bit down. Alright. And of course never swap. Once that hits level 2 at least, and it's actually useful for bringing other people out of position. Speaking of out of position though, Batrider of course one of these heroes that can do that really effectively once he gets his Blink Dagger. And Batrider a hero that you stick into the off lane, and if he gets found there in levels, then it's alright. But if he doesn't, he can always fall back into the jungle and get his Blink Dagger there. Pretty much unimpeded and very quickly with the Firefly, as well as the Napalm stacks on the creep camps.
Radiant's banned.
So Fureur banning out a couple of supports and nice off-lane tanky heroes such as Doom. Nyx Assassin, not so much tanky, but similar to the Batrider, nice initiator that it's always gonna find his levels somewhere. That doesn't need a whole lot of farm. Crystal Maiden and Visage also banned out, so not wanting to deal with the quality, and especially early game quality that these supports bring to the table. Weaver and Lycanthrope banned out by uebelst Gaming, not wanting to deal with that heavy split push that can come out of these kind of heroes.
10 seconds to go.
Slug and Invoker as well, all round top picks in the current meta.
5 seconds.
That are banned out, so nothing too surprising there. Ember Spirit is another one of these top tier picks and bans right now, and uebelst Gaming grabs a hold of that. Might be going into the mid lane, but with the Mirana also picked up now, I'm not too sure about that. I guess they can change it up depending on what kind of mid hero Fureur wants to bring out. Whether you can afford to send an Ember Spirit there, or if you want to run him in the hard carry position and use the Mirana in the middle lane. So quite an open draft coming out from uebelst right now. Fureur of course has to reveal their course. Clockwork gonna be one of them, probably heading to the offlane. He's one of these heroes that also needs a couple of levels. If he doesn't find them in the offlane, he has a harder time of catching up though. But once he hits level 6, he will leave the lane, start rotating around, trying to land those hook shots. Alright, Shadow Shaman gonna be the first support pickup for uebelst. A little bit of a greedy support in the sense that he does need a couple of levels before he gets really effective. Hex at level 1, not so good, neither is Ether Shock. The Chakos are alright, but it also holds you in place, so you really need another support and another damage dealer in your lane to quickly take care of that. OD now picked up for the middle lane of Fureur, and that's a really strong pickup. Neither the Mirana nor the Ember Spirit would have a really good time against them. So, but uebelst only has one pickup left. I mean, they could switch it around a little bit, pick up a mid hero like Razor right now and run the Mirana as a support if they really want to. And Razor of course a hero that sort of counters the OD. Because the static links works through the Astral Imprisonment, so you can keep sapping that damage even, and the OD can't disrupt that in any way, other than by running away from you. Lone Druid of course another good counter to OD, simply because you can't imprison 2 heroes at once. But might throw a wrench into uebelst Gaming's plans. Unless they want to run Maran in the support capacity, they are looking for another one right now. And yeah, it's gonna be the Sand King. Also a greedy support that does need levels. I mean, he can fall back into the jungle as soon as he hits level 3, with 2 points into the Sandstorm, which allows him quick and efficient jungling. Well, not so much quick, but really efficient, nonetheless. So he can catch up that way. Shadow Shaman, to some degree, with the Ether Shock can spam down some waves, but it's not really what you want to do with the Shadow Shaman.
10 seconds.
Both of these
to go.
heroes, though, unless they get some levels, they're not going to be really
5
effective.
seconds.
And I really fear for uebelst Gaming right now, because Fureur now has the opportunity to actually pick up another hero for an aggressive tri-lane. With the Ancient Apparition, giving the Chilling Touch buff up to every one of his lane compatriots, if you want. And the Vengeful Spirit, of course, with that amount of control, and the minus armor, most notably, adding into that. To pick up a hero like a Luna here, that can also work with aggressive tri-lanes because of a damage aura and just the amount of right click that she brings to your entire lane. They can really put up a lot of pressure on uebelst Gaming's safe lane hero. Yeah, as I said, Sand King, Burst Strike level 1, not the biggest range. Would need a setup, and if the Shadow Shaman gets close enough for a setup, he will probably die before he can get anything off. So, Ember Spirit, he's alright in lane, I suppose. He brings out some control and some... he's also quite tanky with the Flame Guard, but that doesn't help you against right-click damage. I mean, it does absorb the Chilling Touch extra damage, since that is magical in a separate instance, but I'm not quite sure if that's going to be enough. And Lifestealer, another hero that can definitely work in that capacity. So we'll see what Fureur is going to do. Aggressive tri-lane, as I said, might be the option here that they're going to go for. Alright, let's actually switch to the right overlay this time around. I really have to get used to that. Not so much of an overlay, it's just my name up in the top right corner, but it's enough. Alright, let's run through our lineups. For Fureur, K3K, gonna be on the Outworld Devourer heading to the middle lane. Yeah, it does look like an aggressive tri-lane coming out of them with the Ancient Apparition, played by this nice person. Matrice, gonna be on the carry Lifestealer. Sick, playing the Vengeful Spirit support and Clockwork, played by Crush, heading into the safe lane. Alright, on the other side of the river, we've got W-Boy on the Ember Spirit. We've got the Stan and Hey Scotty on the Sand King, apparently joinDOTA, not here with us right now.
30 seconds.
And
to
then it
showtime.
leaves Arya on the Barana, Alex on the Shadow Shaman. And they're gonna look at each other here. Scout each other out. Doesn't seem like there's gonna be an engagement though. And Sky is gonna be the last one on the offlane, Batrider. Alright. Batrider against Clockwork. Bad matchup for the Clock. Just hands down. Batrider will be able to play around with him
And away we
really a
go.
lot. Just keeping up these napalm stacks, and Clockwork really has to watch out. If he gets enough stacks on him, then he's definitely living life on the edge, because 4 or 5 stacks, these right clicks do a surprising amount of damage, even early on in the game. So we'll see how that works out. Sky guarding the rune, but it's, yeah, he actually picks it up. It's a haste rune, and can help him out a little bit. Putting some pressure onto Crush early on with a couple of napalm stacks. And it's gonna be Ember Spirit in the middle lane. He's not gonna have too much fun. I mean, it's pretty much any hero up against an OD, except for the ones I mentioned earlier with the Razor and Lone Druid, Kunkka to some degree as well. There are very few heroes that can stand up to an OD. Problem is, later on in the game, OD doesn't give you too much control. I mean, that Astral Imprisonment is nice, but you can't do damage to it. Except for the Sanity's Eclipse. And apart from that, he only gives you right clicks and some RNG mana regen if you cast a spell, so... what's gonna be interesting though is how this bottom lane shapes up. And with these supports against the supports on the side of uebelst. Actually, he's gonna hit the Burst Strike, Arrow's gonna follow up, and that's the first blood on the Ancient Apparition. It's a little bit too far forward, and being too close to Burst Strike, even though it's a short range, we've managed to hit it, it's still very good stun. And then, of course, a nice setup for the arrow. So, in that respect, very nice very nice decision to put the Mirana here in the in the farming position. Because she gives you that early game presence that you need. And oh my god, no. That is so bad for ranged apparition. Caught out in the front lines again. Sand King barely has enough mana for 2 burrow strikes, but these 2 burrow strikes resulted in 2 kills. So very nice start here for uebelst, and I know Fureur it's so hard to say, right? Fureur can come back from this in this trial, and it almost seems like they have to abandon this because it's pretty much lost already. I mean, 2 kills already going the way of Sand King, which means he's almost level 3 now. Once he hits that, he can jungle up and get his Blink Dagger up and the rest of his levels, but not doing that just now. He picked up an Invis rune. Was scouted out though by this Observer Ward, so Fureur playing very passively right now. And yeah, Ancient Apparition gives you a lot of damage, but he is a squishy support hero still. And it doesn't have any amount of control right now. I mean, Cold Feet, not exactly reliable. So if you go onto an Ancient Apparition like that, if you manage to catch him just slightly out of position, he's gonna die, as we've just seen. There's a bottle coming out to the Ember Spirit, that's gonna help him out a lot. At least for that Sleight of Fist and the Flame Guard spam, so he can keep that up. Because OD won't be able to get as much stacks on him as to drain his possible mana pool too much, so he wouldn't have enough for a Flame Guard. But yeah. W-Boy not having the best time in his middle lane. Yeah, only sitting at 9 CS compared to the 17 and 10 of the OD, so... Sky on the other hand doing quite well for himself. Clockwork is keeping up though, so props to him. Isn't getting as crushed as I thought he would, but the bad right about a level ahead right now, so... But yeah, Fureur still sticking to the Dove lane. Mirana almost has a slight experience advantage, as she's now left her own devices with that leap and a couple of points into the arrow, as well as a Starstone up, but spots are rotating back in, spotted out by this Observer Ward though, so... Fureur not gonna get caught out once more, I would hope. Yeah, Sand King got level 2 Sandstorm, so that's what he's gonna do. He's already sacked himself a camp. That's gonna be a nice experience boost for him, and at this point he can just leave the Shadow Shaman to try and babysit. I mean, 2 points into Ether Shock. That's some decent damage. It's a really, really potent nuke in the early game, so that alone is gonna be enough to keep the supports at least, keep them honest and away from the Mirana, and if worst comes to worst, she can always leap away, so it's not gonna be too much of a problem. Clockwork still keeping up with Sky here. Of course, the Magic Stick is gonna be a big part of that. Battery Assault now will get the cogs off. Firefly has to be used. That's Sky. Yeah, 2 napalm stacks, a couple of right clicks, just to keep him away from him. Yeah, Lifesteal is not doing too bad on CS, but he is behind the Mirana, and that's a big problem for me. Because Lifestealer does need his farm to be effective in the mid game. There's another burst strike onto Fureur. Arrow's actually gonna be tanked by the raged up Lifestealer, so totally ineffective. Cold Feet's gonna proc Alex, uses the shackles, but immediately cancelled by his death, and now Scotty is in trouble. Lifestealer going to town. Mirana will pick up the Ancient Apparition in the end. But whoa, nice Burrow Strike once again, and now Matrice, no rage, no death, so Vengeful Spirit died in that engagement as well, so it's a 3-for-1 trade. They will take that trade any day. It's gonna be such a big boost from Mirana. She's almost level 6, as well as the Sand King. Gyro Shaman didn't get as much of that as he did die, but... You don't have the Serpent Ward's up yet, you just can't push those effectively, so it's not a big deal. Their lineup isn't really reliant on bringing down towers early game too much. This middle lane though, poor Ember Spirit, W-Boy sitting at 15 CS as opposed to 37 of the OD, K3K, really or Kek maybe. He's really crushing this middle lane. Wouldn't expect anything else.
That's 4 in a row.
From Scotty is dominating. Oh yeah, he actually rotated up to the top lane. Picking off the clockwork there, really nice. Actually missed that completely. I just thought he would go back to the jungle. But yeah. Means also that Sky has his lasso up and ready, 1,300 gold in the bank. So he's well on his way to a Blink Dagger. Saving up for only getting the boots. Scotty uses his last mile to burst strike through the tree line as he was right under the tier 1 tower. Now imprisonment on the OD himself, biceps, W-Boy doing some problems, and there's the lasso onto the OD. Alright, uebelst getting some really nice pickups here. Excellent rotations coming out from the Batrider. As we see Shadow Shaman dying again, alright. Missed that again, Mirana not able to keep his support alive. As the tri-lane is still going on, I'm not quite sure whether that's the right decision. I mean, these supports are quite poor right now. Don't have too many levels compared to the Sand King. Keeping up with the Shadow Shaman, but as I mentioned, it's not the biggest deal right now if you have a farm Sand King like that. He's got his sorry. He's got his arcane boots up and now smoked up together with Alex. They're gonna look to get the clockwork again. If they manage to catch him out, that's definitely possible. Lasso is not available for another 30 seconds, so they won't have that to line it. But even if the clockwork cogs, Sand King will be able to burst strike into that. And the cogs don't last so terribly long. What's the courier doing here? What?
The Radiant's courier didn't make it.
Why? That's just so weird. Alright. Courier, he actually had quite a bit going on him. Magic Wand recipe. As well as a Wraith Band from Mirana, so that's she's not gonna have that for 3 minutes. So a little bit of misplay there. I don't know what happened there. Miss micro. But yeah, now Fureur looking to try and get an opening onto Aya. But he's playing very defensively right under his own tower. He knows he has no support. There's a Clockwork Rocket scouting it out. And now Sick coming in. The Howl is gonna hit, but barely. Arrow's gonna fly out, but the rotation of W-Boy sends Sick flying. But he's got support rotating around. The Life Stealer is coming in. But the Searing Chains onto Sick. He's taking a lot of damage from that. Moonlight Shadow will keep him alive. Potion is gonna be used, but it's not gonna be enough. Nice kill for the Ember Spirit, and that's a much needed pick-up kill for him, so as he did have a bad time in the middle lane. As we see the Ancient Apparition dying in top, Crush shackled up for just a little bit, but now massive TP rotation. Sky is actually in trouble, and as well as Alex caught in. Sky, a little bit of time, but Lifesteal actually dies to the Stenson. They have no detection. OD has to get out of there. Scotty survives for all of that and picks up a very important kill. Didn't see that coming, but they do pick up Sky and the Shadow Shaman, so okay exchange for them, but losing the Lifesteal is of course really hurting him. Now W-Boy doing some damage to his tier 1 at the same time. And Aya freed up in this lane. Sitting at 42 CS, so he's doing well. And yeah, he's gonna look to maybe, with that siege creep, take a couple of health points off this tier 1 bottom as well. But Lifesteal is already back, so. Alright. We don't have too many good Lifestealer vessels in this game. Usually you want something like a Storm Spirit or another hero like Templar Assassin or Puck, someone that will build a Blink Dagger or generally has a skill that lets him be very mobile. You want to have someone like that paired up with a Lifestealer. As we see OD caught out in the middle lane. Mass TP reactions, but it's gonna be a little bit too late. Alex done up. Howl on 3. Now Crush coming in. Cocked Scotty in. Hooks out to Alex, but Scotty is gonna live, and so is Alex. They can't find one in particular. Yeah, that sounds, yeah.
Bottom tower
What the hell? Why can't I talk? There we go.
right now. What's with all the
He stands tall just outside the range of the tower, so Clockwork couldn't finish him up there when he was in this. Tried to get Alex, but didn't do that either, so
bottom tower seem better
uebelst Gaming gets the Outworld Devourer
no breaking
for
down
a
the
second
range
time.
structures like this.
They don't pay anything for that, so... Right, quick pause coming out. So yeah, this game's starting to pick up some steam. And uebelst Gaming definitely the benefactor of that. Taking 11 kills so far. Not the biggest difference on the gold lead though, as all the towers are still up for both sides. Sitting at about 2,000 gold advantage, but the experience tells the story a little bit better with 5,000 experience advantage going the way of uebelst Gaming, so... That's just all the kills there. Take a look at the hero level, and yeah, Sky as well as W Boy, they are the real breadwinners of these last engagements. Sky with the nice rotations coming out, also sitting second in net worth just behind his own teammate Marana. So only saw one lasso, but that was on the OD, and that was on the back of a nice rotation coming from him just when he got that up. And in the meantime, he goes Blinker. I got another 800 gold to boot, so he's doing quite well. Crush, he hit the hook, but he did manage to get a kill from it, so a little bit unfortunate for him.
Top tower, you know the drill.
And usually you would think that a Clockwork would be able to get rid of his support like a Shadow Shaman, but wasn't the case, and there's another lasso. Is it gonna be enough though? Firefly wears out. Epicenter though, doing a lot of damage, but there's caught in the cock. Sky is gonna take the fall. A ultimate coming in, not gonna hit on anyone. Didn't need it, and they're gonna deny the tower. Vengeful Spirit though, left alone in the middle lane, just with an AA as support, so W Boy capitalizing on that. 2-for-1 trade, and Scotty might, yeah, he's fine, he's fine. Fureur not investing in any sort of detection, so Scotty can rely. Yeah, he should be alright. He can rely on that Sandstorm to keep him out of trouble. Biceps though taking a lot of damage with the Howl up and the Stance Eclipse. He's not quite dead yet, but the A ultimate is walking right back into it. No! Alright, the Flame Guard will take some of the damage, but the Sand King, not so lucky, not having the benefit of that. He will die. The others won't take out, but that was a nice A ultimate.
Two down. Dyer's bottom tower.
What? Oh, Clockwork sniped him with the rocket. Wow. Haven't had that in the back of my mind, sorry guys. But yeah. Really nice exchange from Fureur, getting them back into this game.
Mid tower could use a little help.
Nice focus fire there. And the wards, of course, doing a lot of work there. But not quite enough. I don't think they picked anyone off there, so... Yeah, experience advantage. Dip down below 5,000 again, gold advantage. Actually still in favor of uebelst and only going up right now, so... Wasn't the worst engagement they could have, but... Not the best one either. Losing the Sand King like that, but at the end of the... And of course the Ember Spirit, that's the worst... Yeah. That's the worst one of the heroes to lose. I mean, Sand King, alright. I mean, he's got his Blink Dagger and he's got his levels right now, so doesn't really matter too much if he dies, but Ember Spirit needs his farm. He needs a damage item to be able to actually be a continued factor in this game. Nice defensive spirit coming out, so he'll be able to jump back to that if he needs to. See both teams now grouping up in mid, looking for an engagement angle. Sleight of Fist, doing a lot of damage, and Flame Guard as well. Sig gonna be blown up by Love's Ether Shock. But now Whammy Spirit, but you can't kill him if he has a Spirit up. And the wards come up again. AA dies immediately as well as the Vengeful Spirit. OD caught in the middle of all of it with a lasso. And they're not done yet. Nice two-man stun. Ether Shock will pick up the Lifestealer. Crush is in a lot of trouble. Cox go out, but that's a 5-man wipe. Going the way of uebelst Gaming and a tier 1 tower. That is such a great engagement. Nice play by W-Boy there. Baiting him out, doing a lot of damage to the Vengeful Spirit, picking her off. And then Fureur had to focus on him because he was doing so much to them. But then he just zipped out to his defensive remnant. A ultimate, gonna hit on everyone, so that's gonna stop that push for now, but still a nice big one team fight, and it's gonna be a big advantage for going the way of uebelst. Yeah, that gold graph and that experience graph spiking upwards. So yeah, you can't kill an Ember Spirit like that unless you have enough lockdown. He baited them out and then the wards came down, did a crap ton of damage. So uebelst Gaming in a commanding position to take this game right now. Matrice, it's got his armlet, it's got his face boots. Doesn't have the drums yet. And he's sitting on a casual belt of strength, but that's not gonna help him too much. W-Boy throwing out a casual chains. Might get hit by the ultimate. No. Actually, yeah. So weird. The effect sometimes gets on them even though they appear to be outside of the range. Right, Crush has a passenger looking for a hook. Biceps looking for someone in the woods. Maybe not. It's actually a really defensive spirit as well. But yeah, Crush not finding anyone just yet. It's got a Pipe of Insight though. Oh, yeah. Baited out by the illusion. And he's wasting the hook right there. It's got a Pipe of Insight though. And against this lineup, it's gonna help a little bit, but the epicenter if that goes off will chew through that quite quickly. But I think the Pipe of Insight in general is a really good item, and it's really underrated too. Not a lot of teams get it. But it's also really useful if you're playing against an Ancient Apparition. Of course, Clockwork on the same hero as the AA, but if you're playing against it, Mechanism is not going to help you. Because the Frostbite disables healing. But, oh, as we see a lasso on the Raged Out Lifestealer. Epicenter a little bit wasted though, since he was raged up. A ultimate, not gonna land this time around. Moonlight Shadow will cover their retreat. So, didn't grab the kill, but oh, as we see the Mirana now joining into the fight. Defensive imprisonment though will keep the AA alive a little bit longer, but now nice 2-man stun. And a 5-second arrow, the OD, not long for the world. Matrice taking some damage, shackled up in range of the wards. So he's gonna go down, Rage not gonna help him too much, and now Sig. Nice burst strike once again. He's gonna go down, now Crush again in a lot of trouble. Last man standing, but not for long. Another 5-man wipe, and uebelst Gaming barely even scratched in terms of the health. That is playing out of their mind right now, clearly the better team in this game. Gold advantage now up to 10,000 gold. Experience already eclipsed 12,000, so this tier 2 is gonna go down. They will probably not go for the racks now. No, just gonna ping out the bottom tier 2. There's already a nice creep up here, so if they want they can commit on that too, but seems like they're gonna play it safe as all the heroes of Fureur are now back online as well. Alright. Oh, W-Boy's actually coming back, but yeah, not gonna go for anything crazy. What I was saying about the Pipe of Insight playing against an AA. The mechanism is not gonna help you because Frostbite disables healing. But if you have a pipe, then you can mitigate some of that damage over time that comes with that. That ultimate, so it can help you survive instead of being ticked out. So that's just one of the reasons why I would like to see that pick up a lot more. Sky though, picked up a 4-star, sitting on another 2,700 gold. We'll see whether he wants to pick up tier 2 boots, but nope, he's just spending all this gold on the BKB, so he's gonna be able to stay alive a lot longer in these team fights. Not that he dies, but In theory, right? Aya also doing really well for himself, sitting at 9,400 net worth.
Towers getting the business.
Split pushing top, while the rest of his team is taking down this tier 2. And yes, guys, looking for someone, but not quite in range for lassos. That range is really low. But yeah, Fureur can't engage right now. The only hero that they have that is even close in the realm of net worth is the Outworld Devourer. And he's working on a mechanism, needs about 500 gold to finish it up. He has a Midas, but I don't think he has enough time for the Midas to pay enough dividends for him to be a factor in this game. Because, I mean, he can dish out some decent damage just because of his orb effect. So we see Fureur actually engaging here, Lifestealer and Vengeful Spirit called out. And this will be Rax, I'm pretty sure.
Bottom towers getting the business.
There's nothing they can do. W-Boy didn't go for damage, he's also looking for a BKB it seems. And Serpent Bolt's committed. This tower will go down. The glyph is available, but I don't know, yeah. Can use it to delay it a little bit. Oh, Hook actually on Scotty, but he'll be able to burst right out, but the tower's hitting him. He might actually die from this, but never mind, he's got a Blink Dagger. Yeah. The Rocket Flare not gonna be enough to pick him off, so. And Scotty, man, that Zen is doing a lot of work. All the stunts he did led to kills, and a lot of two-man stunts too. Now AA in trouble as Vengeful Spirit dies again, yeah. Shackles onto Matrice, rages out of it, tries to TP out it seems? Nope. Someone else TPing in. Now the OD joins the fight, picks up 3. Technically 2 as the Lifestealer gets a last hit on the Sand King, but big Sanity is eclipsed there. And the heroes that were already low. But Mirana, left alone in the top lane, just farming up. Aya doing PvE right now. Sitting on 5,000 gold. Dude, buy an item. Need to buy items. Gold alone doesn't translate to damage. Alright. Yeah, they can't even catch him. So fast with that Yasha already up. And of course, they'll leap to fall back on. But yeah, if the OD doesn't get the drop on that, if he's there at the beginning of the team fight, then he gets controlled up by the Sand King. Pretty sure. I mean, Scotty is doing such a good work that he would try and line up his guns to get the OD. The Astral Imprisonment basically just delays the inevitable if he does it defensively. If he does it offensively, if he gets someone of uebelst, then it might help a little bit more, but just a single target, and all the heroes in uebelst are a big threat right now. In some form or another. It's got his mechanism out of all that, but there's a lasso onto Crush, but there's a nice imprisonment. Cogs are in, BKB up, no Firefly available, so he can't get out as quickly, taking a lot of right-click damage. But yeah, there's Pipe of Insight prop, so a little bit missed force up, but there's counter initiation. It was a bait, space created as the Sand King comes in. Picks off the Ancient Apparition as the Lifestealer dies in the backlines to the rest of the heroes that caught up now. Yeah, that damage bit. Gone for a BKB. And one thing about these BKB pickers is that it all but nullifies the OD's effect, because that Arcade Orb doesn't work through BKB, it's blocked by Magic Immunity. So that's a big part of his damage just gone. Yeah, just gonna get away. Kind of forgot what I was gonna say. Yeah, Mirana going for a Maelstrom build, still sitting at 2,000 gold. And he actually went straight from Mjolnir. Can finish the Manta pretty damn soon as well. But yeah. I don't think there's anything Fureur can do right now. They don't have a split push lineup. Their team fight, it's they missed the timing window for that. Clockwork, if he hooks in, he's just gonna die. Pipe or not. Even if with the lifesteal inside, they might find one pickup, but then the rest of the team. There's a hook. Onto Scotty, but he'll force stuff out. Burst Strike, not gonna be long enough, and the AA ultimate. We'll see what the deal lifesteal taken last hit, yeah. But they're using pretty much everything they have, the hook and the lifesteal infest, to get a kill on a Sand King. And that's a Sand King support who already has a pipe up, so Nice pickup there. I mentioned why earlier. So yeah, Scotty, good player, good player. Now, Fureur, looking to get the first tower of the game. Glyph is up though, we'll see whether they want to help that, but without the tanking with his ultimate, don't really want that. We're gonna TP out as the split push is commencing. No tower to defend this bottom lane. Range bags at about half health. Yeah, uebelst not the classic split push lineup, but a Mirana can definitely do that work if she really wants to, but she has a fighting build right now with the Mjolnir. So, and they don't need a split push, they can just 5-man if they want to. There's nothing Fureur can do, I mean, unless they hit a nice AA ultimate. uebelst is gonna win these 5-man engagements with that massive gold lead that they have worked on. Sitting at about 16,000-17,000 gold, as well as 15,000 experience. Has leveled off a little bit, so Fureur stemmed the bleeding, or stopped the bleeding, if anything. But still, they're still in a really bad spot. W-Boy also doing some nice plays here. Throughout the entire game, I mean. Always using the spirits defensively, and there's some Ember Spirits that I don't see that doing in these little bit lower levels of play. On the top levels, of course, you're always gonna have that. Oh, watch up on a lifestealer, but he has face boots, so he doesn't care too much. He'll be able to get away, but that means he's out of the fight for a couple of seconds. Ember Spirit, W-Boy, pops a BKB, who wants to get something done. Force stuff out from the OD, he can't engage. Crush though, caught in the middle as well as a Vengeful Spirit. Crush got crushed. Sorry about that, but that's gonna be the Rax down. Crush infested with the lifestealer, but I don't know, he's so controlled up. Lifestealer is still there though. Scotty is now in trouble. He doesn't have a burst strike out, so he'll take the fall. But that's only one hero. OD can't fight. Sky looking for Matrice. He doesn't have a lasso, but he doesn't even need it. Flame Break will seal the deal, and GG, well played, go next. And yeah, that was long overdue. Fureur fought to the end, but
That's a win.
at some point you just have to say, alright, didn't work out for us. The others really played really well, and there's nothing we can do in this game. So 33-13, the final kill score. uebelst Gaming on the back of some nice Sand King and Bad Rider play. Securing themselves game number 1. So we'll take a short break and hop right back into game number 2 as soon as it starts. So stay with us.